making millions just by being them.
Mm-hmm.
So what about your gym dad?
Yeah, my gym dad posted like the judge's ruling, right? And I shared that shit right away. Let's see, let me just find it.
What, Friday?
It was recent. Let me see here.
We're doing the podcast. You guys are getting a treat today. You're just catching us in our natural environment. Matt Vine is searching for some political post right now.
Oh, he took it down. Hold on.
Dining on Chipotle.
Yeah, buddy. Hold on, I can find it though.
The Premier Planet Podcast, unofficially brought to you by Chipotle.
I'm here picking my nose for a second because I had a little cat hair up there. And Vine also was kind enough to bring guacamole sauce and chips from Chipotle.
Yeah, buddy.
So where is it? The guy took your gym dad took it down?
Well, I think they made it. I think they.
Facebook removed it?
Yeah, I think they took it down. Gotta love it.
Vine, what constitutes a gym dad?
He's basically this big ass dude that's a lot older than me, and is giving me a lot of healthy advice.
Advice about what?
How to work out differently and switch shit up and train differently and
keep an open mind.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
All right, so
I'm trying to get to our corrupt ass governor and the shutdown shit.
Judge Michael McHaney ruled Bailey was not bound by the order. He stated that
30 days is it.
Yes, basically he said 30 days was at the edge of his constitutional rights to shut down the state, and he said that it was appalling how
the abuse of power.
Not even the abuse of power. It was saying that
ignoring the Constitution.
No. It was along the lines of like how it's criminal that people can go to a grocery store, but they can't have their places open so they can feed their family.
Yeah.
And then he stated things along the lines of like how with Pritzker and how his family goes to Florida and goes to Wisconsin, right?
Think about Hayward.
They've been everywhere, and so is he too. And even though he claims that he was quarantining himself, he only quarantined himself for like 2 or 3 days, and then he found himself up in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So what this judge McHaney was acting on was saying that he finds it reprehensible. He used Pritzker's words when people asked him about his family.
So he flipped it.
Yeah, he goes.
He flipped the script.
Yeah. He goes, I find it reprehensible that the powers that be can act for people, but it doesn't affect them. And he goes, when that happens, you are not being governed, you're being ruled.
Exactly.
And then the state, so like the state of Illinois is, the people in the state of Illinois, rather, are being ruled, and it's, unlawful in and of itself.
So let's go back to that. If nobody ever said COVID was a scam and this thing wasn't real on either side. But the point is that to even get that 30 days, if you read the legal description, it has to be a lot more harsh than it was, than it is.
Yeah.
And we took that 30 days. We gave them 60 days.
And change.
We have rights. If you have feelings and you want to stay in, and you're taking this thing very seriously, let's say the scale is like the hospital from 1 to 8. How are you feeling?
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling about a 2.5 or 3 at this point, maybe 1.5 to 2. If you're feeling an 8, that's cool. You're entitled to that.
Yeah.
But the United States Constitution, the Illinois Constitution, says that we're all entitled to feel and act the way we want to if we're not harming anyone. And you can take the propaganda, because that's what it is propaganda, saying that people who go out and ignore whatever the hell are harming people. There's no scientific proof of that. There's no scientific proof of that. They don't know as much about. They don't know enough about this fucking flu, and that's what it is a flu virus, to factually base that. The other thing is, if you want to stay home Stay home. If you stay home, I can't infect you. You know? But at the end of the day, we can't shut down or afford to shut down. The same governor who...
In the same respect, though, like, if you stay at home, like, you're decreasing your
what you're
immune
talking
system.
about now, again, I mean, yes, there's facts to that, but it's never going to make it to the mainstream media. So I just want to stay on the lay terms of this thing so we don't be too political. How it relates to me. I'm sitting here with a disabled child, a kid with a heart condition I'm raising myself. Haven't gotten any child support for 4 to 6 months. I'm one of the people who hasn't gotten their stimulus yet. So here's my governor expecting me to stay in, not earn, not run Premier Pro Wrestling. But he's made no concessions or laws for landlords and their property tax, nor protection of tenants. Yes, well, we shut down the eviction courts for now. It doesn't matter. When this shit's said and done, they still are going to have the right to go to eviction court, and imagine how much that's going to affect the taxpayer because you guys pick up the cost of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if this landlord who I smooth things over with today is to take me to eviction court, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to file pro se because I can't afford a lawyer. Then I'm going to have to demand a jury trial. Because the only way to level the playing field when I'm going up against a landlord with an attorney is to have a jury trial. Because the way a lawyer will defeat me is by quoting case law. Okay? I don't have access to case law. If I did have access to case law, I would understand case law. But when I demand my right to get a jury trial, the jury doesn't understand case law either, so the playing field is level. But I want you guys to think of something. How much is that going to cost the taxpayer? A jury trial.
A lot more than a regular trial would, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's just about rights, you know? And there's a lot of businesses, I don't know how the hell we're maintaining, but there's a lot of businesses that are going to go under, and it's a damn shame if we go under because we have something that is undeniably great.
Yeah.
It's great for a lot of guys, young people in the industry and around the industry, Justin. It's also great, and mostly the number one priority, great for the fans, you know? So we should go away because we can't afford to compete. That's not what the country's constitution is based on. The right to pursue happiness, the right to success, a level playing field. You know what I mean? Don't bench us and then not give us concessions. You know?
Instead, he's taking so many liberties with the stupid thing. His next campaign slogan really should be "Do as I say, not as I do."
Well, meet in the middle. You know, meet in the middle. There's absolutely no concessions for people like me who need to operate, who need to run. You know what I mean? But I'm just supposed to stay home, and the way they had it, there wouldn't be no stimulus. I mean, you're talking about not being able to pay your rents or mortgages for 6 fucking months. You'll never catch up.
No.
You know, my youngest kid was born with a heart condition, and she spent 10 weeks in the hospital for her first 2 surgeries. 10 weeks as a newborn. That means I couldn't work or earn a dime for 10 weeks. And you know what happened? We kept the house, but we ended up having to file for bankruptcy. And that's just from 10 weeks, which is where we're at now. You know what I mean? It's not fair. You know?
Yeah.
So say whatever you want, but it's your feelings. Your feelings aren't facts. Your feelings aren't law. There's law and there's federal policy, and those are to be adhered to. Now, we did our part. We stayed home for not only the 30 days, we stayed home for 8 fucking weeks, 10 fucking weeks. By the time we get going, it's going to be 12 weeks.
At least.
We just did this last Saturday, we just did our 12th crowdless taping.
Enough's enough. That's 3 fucking months.
That's a fiscal quarter.
Yeah, that's a fiscal quarter. No wonder, people can't fucking operate. So anyway, let's spin this back to wrestling. I joined this group on Facebook, and not Facebook, LinkedIn. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to fucking say the name of the group because I don't want, these fucking indie tards that think they have half a brain going there and picking ideas. But, what's the most popular sport in the world?
Soccer.
Thank you, fellas. One of the winning soccer teams did something amazing. They are still playing.
Oh, did they put the cardboards of people's...
No, that was
fans?
something else. they have that,
Mhm.
but they're still playing, right? They're still playing in the fucking stadiums,
Mm.
but they don't pan to the crowd, or they pan to the crowd minimally, which is like you said,
Yeah.
cutouts. They fucking dubbed in this awesome crowd noise, not catering to or pull the wool over anybody's eyes, but it also is proven to be effective, and the ratings are up from doing it without the crowd noise
Oh, I
for
bet.
the viewer.
I bet. Yeah.
I thought that was a fucking outstanding, and I was kind of like, if you got the money, why not fucking Vince think of that? You know what I mean?
That's the one thing.
Because I mean, I guess what I'm saying, at the end of the day, it is proven in the ratings that it's adding something for the fucking viewer. Go ahead.
Right. Well, I was saying that I think that's the one thing that AEW is doing that's actually right. is
They added crowd noise?
They added fans. Now here's the thing.
They added
It's friends and family from what I hear from my source
or the locker room.
at Vince. You know, at
No, I
Vince's.
saw that. I saw it. The
But
problem is they're
the-
fucking panning to that crowd.
Sure, they're panning to him,
They
but
got
the
guys in
difference
the
is.
locker room in their gear serving as the fans.
No.
That's what I saw.
Well, that's what they were doing. Now they brought friends and family members of those people, sit them in the crowd like 6 feet apart or whatever,
Yeah.
and they make a somewhat of a noise. But it's better than watching Vince's where there's nothing going on.
I would still rather have that post if I had the resources, meaning money from TNT, because it still looks like a fucking Band-Aid. to me.
I'm not saying that their product's
Yeah.
better. I'm saying that
No,
that
it looks
is
like a Band-Aid to have here's
Yeah.
our friends and family pretending.
Yeah.
And they become, at least what I'm saying is, your recorded crowd, you've earned that applause. You've earned that reaction.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
To me,
I'd have to see how that looks. I would like to see how that looks. That's a pretty good idea, though.
what's that? The soccer?
Yeah, soccer.
Yeah. I couldn't figure out how to copy the link, but you assholes should be on LinkedIn.
I am.
All you assholes listening to us should be on fucking LinkedIn. You're a fool if you're not on LinkedIn and you have any inkling for business, even outside of wrestling.
Fucking
Must be.
savage.
What
What are you talking about?
Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't have one fucking chip.
Here.
I'm sitting there, half a nub of a chip.
I'm a savage for taking two at a time. Meanwhile, Mr. Bulldozer Hand here is taking like a fucking... And I'm the fucking savage. Right.
Look at this fucking. This is a.
Of course, in his defense, he did buy him.
Here.
I
take
got
a
two
nub.
nubs of a chip.
Yeah, that's what you get for flapping your gums instead of chewing on your chompers.
For pontificating.
Well, that's what happens with Chipotle chips. They're just that good.
I was hoping you'd start
damn.
eating more because I was like, this is gonna.
I was really hoping somebody from Chipotle would come through the front door and hand me a big bag of money for that. Oh, well, someday.
Fuck, if they handed me half a tank of gas, I'd be happy. You know?
PBW sponsored by Chipotle.
I don't think I pontificate, I just get on a roll.
Yeah, you can definitely get on a roll. That's for sure.
So we were talking before we started this. Justin was telling me about a black guy that he used to work with, older black guy. And we've talked about this before. My cousin is the world famous, the greatest drummer that ever lived, Louis Bellson. His wife was Pearl Bailey, one of the greatest singers that ever lived, and performers. And what the hell was I trying to get at? Damn it, it was something about culture. Oh, hopefully it'll come back to me.
You and I were talking about the book that she wrote. Was it something about that?
No, it's something else about the black culture, man. How I just fucking love it. How they just get to the fucking point, you know? You know, I got a lot of black friends. I'm not saying it like, hey man, I don't have friends that are Negroes, man. I'm not saying that. But I have a lot of black friends in my circle, people that I'm close to, you know? And they're so angry at this Joe Biden bullshit about it. If you ain't voting Democrat, you ain't black, baby. Why does this motherfucker get a pass? Why does he get a pass?
Why did Clinton get a
But the
pass?
same people that call me a racist on social media, why but never done anything except supported Donald Trump? I don't get it.
Well, that's why you're a racist. I mean, just ask the internet.
You know, what the F ever, you know? There's, we talk about Black History Month, you know, as a country. And Vince, WWE dabbles in Black History Month. I mean, it's Black History Month. But there's so many unsung black performers that fans don't hear of today, you know? King Cobra, Brickhouse Brown, Iceman King Parsons. You know what I mean? The Junkyard Dog. I don't think he gets many props today. Has he been inducted into the Hall of Fame?
I think so. I can double check on that.
You know?
No, he has been. I remember because his daughter inducted him.
Good.
Or accepted on his behalf.
Good. Good. But, you know, the point I'm trying to make is that if people would just realize that the current race war is haves versus have-nots. It's not black, white, and brown and yellow. That shit's all race-baiting bullshit. It's haves versus have-nots, and the quicker we realize that, and then we'll realize there's a lot more of us than there are of them. And the guy that first opened my mind to that bullshit was Charles Barkley when I read his book. Okay, Matt, go ahead.
No, you would know this better because you've been in Facebook jail. Did someone report his post? Because here's the post about the judge.
Somebody reported the post.
Okay, so he didn't get blocked. Or he didn't get
No,
thrown
he
in
didn't
jail.
get blocked, but they'll take it down because they'll say their fact-checking bullshit proved it could be. Not even if there is. There's no due process.
It's all he did was quote what the judge said, so how could that be wrong or
It's
right?
unpopular, and here we go back to the feelings again.
Yeah.
Brian, what were we watching yesterday when we were studying game film?
Oh, shit, dude. We covered a whole spectrum
What
of shit.
sticks out the most in your mind?
Well, the last match was the best one.
Unfucking believable.
Yeah.
Justin.
Well, both Ric Flair matches were good, but I thought
that last one was fucking...
Ric Flair
No,
versus...
Ole Anderson has a great book, if you guys...
Ole, yeah.
Yeah, Ole Anderson. That's what I said, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you...
Ole Anderson has a great book if you are inclined. If you can't get enough of wrestling, even if you're in the fucking industry, read the shit. Ole was bitter, but Ole said shit like you said shit. I think it's Inside Out.
I don't know. I can look it up real fast. I'll tell you right now, you got to have the means for it because his book is expensive.
Just go to Half Price Books. You'll find that motherfucker.
Good luck finding it.
I'm telling you. That's why I found my copy, I think. He just encapsulates how... You just have no
It is Inside
idea.
Out. It's Inside Out, yeah.
You have no idea what being fucking over is, the fan today. Even you, Justin, because you have to see this, and I forget this stuff sometimes. In 1986, Ric Flair versus Ricky fucking Morton, Ricky's first title shot with Flair. Ole said, and it proved to be true, the Ric Flair that you guys were exposed to is not Ric Flair in his prime. You're looking at a Ric Flair who was maturing and realizing, holy shit, I don't have anything to fucking fall back on. I've earned so much money. Unbelievable. I should have sold my copy. $119. I got mine at half price book.
$119.60.
But anyway, you're looking at a Ric Flair that was desperate, trying to hang on and recreate his wealth. You know what I mean? And he worked like that. He was booked like that. And Ole Anderson says Ric Flair is good, but he's not the greatest of all times, like everybody said, because he would go out there every night and have the same fucking match. And in a lot of cases, that's fucking true. It's just he put these things that he could still do in a different spot in a match. Well, fuck. He goes way the fuck out of his goddamn circle or out of his
Comfort zone.
Yeah, his comfort zone working with a Ricky fucking Morton. As it should have been, you know. He upped this game like a motherfucker. And I would say, even looking at that crowd, it had to be 20,000 fucking people.
Yeah, a lot of it was blacked out, but you could tell there was still a shit ton of people because it went up. It went up and it was at night and it was outside.
Hogan,
which is fucking
all the wrestling that you've watched your whole life, as a fan, as a worker, have you ever seen anybody more fucking over than Ricky was in that fucking match?
Not even Glamour Boy Shane in Puerto Rico. I'm sorry, dude. He was way over. Way fucking over.
More than Hogan.
I would say so, yeah.
I mean, unbelievable, you know. And that's the type of shit that territory did. I believe, we know Dusty had the book because Virgil Reynolds was given credit at the end of the program as
That's
a fucking
another
producer.
thing that's crazy.
And Ole was there, I'm sure, with a part of the book or part of a committee, you know. And Ole says in his book, okay, Vince wanted to take over the world, and he comes to, I forget what town, but he comes to this town in the Atlanta area, the Atlanta area, not Atlanta, but somewhere down there, and say, maybe it was Macon County. Because Atlanta's when that Macon County, Georgia, some big building, and Vince would go there twice a year at the most, and sell it out. Well, they would fucking oversell that building on a monthly basis. Back during that NWA morphing into WCW territory. He said, who the fuck sold more tickets there? You know what I mean? So that's why he would kind of break it down and say, what a waste. You know, everybody's out of business, but Vince still would sell that out when he would come twice a year when we were running every month. Vince learned how to get his exclusive deals on the buildings by saying, we're doing you a favor too. So no wrestling can be in here this many weeks before us or this many weeks after us, which gives you the exclusive of the building in the legal sense without saying it's the exclusive of the building. You know what I mean? Just unbelievable to me. But goddamn, I mean, and here's the other thing: you can't Google or YouTube or Google Ric Flair versus Rick Morton and find that fucking match. It was a goddamn television. It was a fucking house show that they used to televise. And at the time, if you watch that motherfucking thing, 3 or 4 angles were being pimped at the same time.
Well,
Ricky, Robert, the Andersons, Rick.
The Four Horsemen, and the Rock and Roll Express. And I'm pretty sure someone was coming out from the Midnight Express after that too.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's probably.
But you get screwed on the finish because it was television.
That's what they wanted, though.
Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were still working as the TV time ran out, which is, you don't see that anymore either.
No, you don't see a crowd react like that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that was epic.
Unbelievable. And those fellas earned it. You know.
Yeah.
But I love that part too, and it just shows someone from where I sit. Now, the way I worked this industry is I've been sober the whole time I've been in it. And, I got into my fair share of trouble and groupies and all that stuff. But when you're sober and you're not into dicking around and you're a humble guy, which I basically am, you aren't so much worried about being a mark for yourself as you are what the fuck's going on around you. You know? And you watch it from a business sense, i.e. watching Jerry motherfucking Jarrett work his magic with Eddie fucking Marlin, with Jerry fucking Lawler, with Paul Neighbors, the referee, and Frank Morrell, who would assume a lot of responsibilities as agents and all that bullshit on the spot shows. You know, Paul fucking Neighbors was assuming the position of agent in a way, you know what I mean, because your actual agents or guys in the booking committee wouldn't get there till late, you know, doing shit from going there with Christine Jarrett and refereeing while he's guarding, watching her out of the corner of his eye with the goddamn cash box, you know what I mean, the gate. He set up that motherfucking ring. He's got to tear down that ring and referee 8 matches, and then at the end of the night, or before the shit even started, my only pair of clean gear, I pulled a drawstring through, and Paul takes the time to put the fucking drawstring back in for me. You know what I mean? Paul's got to give us the finishes in the fucking ring. Paul gives us our time in the fucking ring. You know what I'm saying? Just amazing, man.
Yeah.
You know, compared to how shit is today. So that's what it is. What I'm saying is you could not, and I love it and it warms my heart to see that nobody has that experience or the thought process based on those kind of experiences in the places I've been to fucking even think about posting Ric Flair versus Ricky Morton, making it easy for somebody to watch it and learn it.
Yeah.
You know, that's what makes Premier Pro Wrestling different. You are being trained and taught to look at things in such a fucking way that nobody fucking gets. Well, Vince is technically sound, become undeniable, to possess something that the rest of them don't. You know, you're in the catbird seat.
Well, I certainly hope so, man. Hopefully they catch on to something like that sooner rather than later. Because I see it just seems like more and more as it goes on, it's just like becoming a dying art, you know.
It's not a dying art. The thing that's dying is it's so easy to blame, the fans and the internet. Bull fucking shit. Bull fucking shit.
Well, just in that
Nobody
alone.
knows how to do it. If
Exactly.
people knew
That
how
means
to
it's
do
a
it-
dying art. You know what I mean? Nobody knows how to do it anymore. It's like what I'm saying is like, just because a few people still know how to drive stick doesn't mean as many as it used to be. That's what I'm saying.
What are you
Like
talking about?
a stick shift car.
That's
It
just
used-
hard. That's harder. It doesn't. It
When
doesn't compute.
When you say a dying art, like people used to do it, all just about everybody used to be able to do it back then. Go out there, call shit like that.
Not everybody could do that.
No.
No, not everybody could do that because then there would have been 10,000 Hulk Hogan's and Ricky Mortons and Ric Flairs. Not everybody can do that.
Yeah.
You know? So the point I'm trying to make is this. People like you get down about this, and you, no, not people like you. People your age think that, oh, you know, it's got to happen, it's got to happen. Who's that big black kid they're finally pushing now that I pointed out to you? WWE. They're pushing a big black kid.
Keith Lee.
Keith Lee.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck did that motherfucker say again? When he talked about finally getting on the fucking roster?
Oh, I don't remember.
12 fucking years
Yes.
went by.
Something like that. He
12
was doing
years
it a
went
really
by.
hard time, yeah. He's
He
a
had
little
at least
bitter, at
one
least.
tryout. No, he's not bitter.
He was before he got
Which
there.
is human nature.
Yeah.
How old is Keith Lee? Someone figure out how old that motherfucker is.
He's like 30-something, right? 35. I wouldn't put him more higher than.
Yeah, 35.
Okay, listen to this.
On the-
Listen to this shit. Okay? Last week, I'm not going to go into the deets, but if this comes off between a deal I'm trying to put together with WWE that has nothing to do with our talent, but it does in the long run, which I'm not going to disclose this shit because it's like, got to be non-disclosed when we start dealing with it on a more serious note. But I got
Keep
the
it to
attention of
yourself.
other people. So, I'm talking to somebody at WWE who started with them in 2011 as a motherfucking intern. What's 29 years? This guy's in his early 30s, okay? He's got some fucking juice there now. He paid his fucking dues there now.
Yeah.
He's a swinging fucking dick in the office. Nice guy, too. If you're listening to this, this is just how I talk.
Like he's.
So, how old is Zach Feldman?
He's got to be 26, 27.
So, I'm talking to somebody real high up at World Wrestling Entertainment. I get the contact to this guy who's 30-something, okay? Same age group. Why do you think this guy is where he is and Zach is starting out his second or third year with Vince now? And he was an intern for a year, right?
Yeah.
Not paid?
I don't know how their internships work, but it shouldn't be paid out.
It wasn't much paid if there was any, because that's
Yeah.
how the internships usually
Yeah,
work. You can
yeah.
look on. Now, as they mature, look at this other kid. He's got to be 34, 35. Okay? 9 years at the company. He's a fucking swinging dick. And I will bet you that motherfucker's making 150 grand a year. You know? He's emotionally mature. Now, they can do something with him.
Mm-hmm.
When you broke in, they were saying stupid shit like, oh, if they're 23, they're over the hill. Or you guys heard that shit, which isn't even what they said. They wanted younger guys.
Mm.
You know, but they didn't say the other shit. The other shit was just all spun out by your Meltzers and your fucking... Who are those guys, Meltzer and...
Yeah, sure. Ask me that.
Anyway,
I'm having a serious brain fart.
Anyway, the ones that you guys all take as like fucking... gospel. Who don't know shit. Vince doesn't deal with them. I'm talking to somebody else who I train who's in the booking of World Wrestling Entertainment, who's 34, 35 years old. Okay? The common denominator, as I'm fucking talking to these guys all in the same day, two guys about this one project, another guy about, performing, okay? They have a common denominator. You know what that is? Positive motherfucking energy. They are emotionally mature now, but they're still young enough to have that fucking go-get-em fucking attitude. And WWE, and who they put in place of Johnny Ace, has learned that in the learning curve as he's been with the company. See what I'm saying? So, don't get too goddamn discouraged. How old are you, Vine?
I'm going to be 29.
What if they don't fucking lose you till you're 32 fucking years old?
I hope not, but...
Okay, what if they don't? What if they don't? Because I'll tell you what, start looking at that average age of people that are starting to get pushed and all that bullshit unless they're a goddamn, what's the kid's name, the Latino we love so much?
Angel Garza.
Angel Garza. How old is Garza?
27, 28, I think.
He's
Okay.
28, yeah.
But he's been around the business twice, 3 times as long as you already.
3 years longer than me.
You gotta fucking stick it out. Or, if it takes you 3 years or 2 more years to get as good as that motherfucker in your style, that's what it's gonna fucking take.
Yeah.
You know? The problem is the system is jammed. There's a motherfucking log jam with fucking assholes that all say the same thing, that all may look the same thing. How the fuck are you gonna get noticed out of all that shit in the jam? Out of 1,000 fucking logs in the jam holding up fucking process. You understand?
Yeah.
Now,
That's the $1 million question. Huh?
when did Punk get his fucking first push? How old?
2011. So
Yeah, so he
He
was.
had to be 30 years
Yeah,
old.
he was 32, 33.
Ken Anderson had to be the same fucking age. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta ride it out. You can't go nowhere and quit. You can't go on social media and fucking sell, because what's gonna happen is you're gonna get fucking buried further. You gotta keep pushing. Where's that character? Where's that heart? And that's what they notice. You know? One more perfect example is Damian Sandow. Okay? He didn't leave WWE on a bad note. He wasn't like released for a cost measure and he didn't count. The guy realized, I can't do this schedule no more. And how long a run did Sandow have?
He was.
including his developmental Terry?
No, his run on top.
Oh boy.
Not on top, on the main roster. He never made it.
Main roster, he was probably about 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a sick bet. Yeah, it's a sick bet.
So the bottom line is he's a smart guy who must have saved his money. He left on his terms, okay, in a good light, and he appears now and again, but he's not busting balls to try to fucking work for AEW. You know what I mean? The point is that when he broke in, he had something, but he was a nervous fucking wreck and he couldn't hang. That motherfucker he didn't disappear from the business. He went down to Puerto Rico and worked for Carlos Colon. They're supposed to be running 4 times a week, and I will bet you they were probably running 1.5 times a week. But he stayed down there for at least 4 or 5 years. Fucking starving before they came back and gave him the fucking Sandow gimmick and he made his fucking money. They respect that and they look at that. And these guys that quit, we know a guy who says, I've been at this 10 years, I'm a veteran. You fucking quit for a year, dude. You ain't no veteran. You can't count that year that you quit.
Quit for a couple of years. Who you kidding?
Oh my God, even worse. That's the point I'm trying to make.
He's-
Stay in the log jam, fine? The way you're gonna fight through that fucking log jam, perseverance, emotional stamina, just like any other industry. But at the end of the day, you play your fucking cards right, you get that fucking chance, and you know how to handle that chance and take that ball and run with it. You can retire by the time you're my age, if you choose to, on your terms.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Do you have what it fucking takes?
We'll certainly find out, won't we?
Okay, I'm done with that shit.
Oh god.
Anyway, I'm glad we're talking about this in front of people that can fucking get it,
Yeah, no, and it's I am re-listening to Rob Paulson's autobiography, and if anybody listening doesn't know who Rob Paulson is, Rob Paulson's one of the most prolific voice actors in all of Hollywood. He's been 2 Ninja Turtles. He's been all sorts of voices on Animaniacs. A lot of stuff for Nickelodeon and Warner Brothers.
He's made a living doing something he loves.
Yeah,
And he's
but
paid his dues.
he started out as just a guy from Flint, Michigan, who was playing in a cover band in the 70s. Decided to move out to L.A. and spent I don't even know how many years working as a maintenance man in the apartment complex he was living in. His first gig was for Jack in the Box in the mid '80s.
Oh yeah.
And
I love Jack in the Box.
yeah, but from that,
we don't.
I mean, he's
way down south.
and I mean this guy's had so many highs and lows too. I mean, he had a bout with cancer. He had like a 2-year dry period where he wasn't working. He couldn't get any work. But I mean, he's one of the most sought after voices in Hollywood.
Well, okay. Speaking of cancer, let's look at Jushin Thunder fucking Liger, who hung it up this year or last year.
There was towards the end of the year last year, right? Something like that, just.
I think so.
Anyway, the way the fucking Japanese used to come in, they beat your fucking ass. I mean, beat your fucking ass for a solid year. Pat Tanaka had his femur broke. They broke his femur on purpose because he didn't listen. Okay. And then he healed there for a year, and then started back over for the other year. Jushin Thunder Liger, how'd you like to fucking wipe Inoki or Baba's fucking ass? Because that's what they used to have to do. They carry their fucking shit, tie their fucking boots for him, and wipe their fucking ass. It wasn't with a hand, it was with one of them sticks and a fucking thing. But that's what they said to do, to pay the fucking dues and pay homage to the shit. Look what happened to Liger. He probably is going to still die a rich man. I mean, the comics about the motherfucking merch, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Every industry has that. We're not talking about going to trade school here, even though it's comparable in some ways. You know, because even trade school takes, what, 4 years?
4 years.
And then what? You got to do, when you get hired, your
Still got to start off.
Yeah, you have to. You go to school for 2 to 4 years, then you have to apprentice for I don't
apprenticeship,
know how long.
Apprenticeship, yeah.
Okay, and then you got to be, there's something with the fucking union, too, before you can actually join.
Yeah.
So
You
how
have to
many
pass
years?
the union
Let's
test.
do the math. 5 years? 6 years? 5, 6 years?
You anytime during an apprenticeship, you get about a year of apprenticeship, then you go and try out for the union. You go to the union.
Years. I'm talking about the years.
I'm just saying, it'll take at least a year of being an apprentice.
So you're doing the math out loud.
Madden here's breaking it down for you.
I mean, Jesus Christ. What I'm trying to say is, to get in, it depends on where you're trying to get. What do you mean?
How many years does it take before you're making any money in your fucking industry?
It's at least, well, if you include the school, 5, 6 years.
Okay. And how many years does it take to become a lawyer?
8.
Okay. And how many?
If you don't fuck up.
And then how many years does it take to get a client base or a decent job in law? Because I know a kid that graduated fucking third in his motherfucking class.
It all depends on the firm
And
you
looked
work
and,
for.
and fumbled around for 3 or 4 years after he passed the motherfucking bar and got out of law because there was more money in fitness, which is what he got into. You know? So let's look at all that shit. Because comparable, under the mid-card guy on SmackDown or Raw is going to make doctor money or lawyer money. How many years do they got to go to school? Doctor 8 years or more?
Doctor is 8 years.
And then 2
Even more
years.
if you want to be a veterinarian.
2 years of a fucking residency too?
Yeah.
10 years. You know?
Intern, resident, then attending.
So that's what we're talking about. To go to work for WWE and to get on the main roster for SmackDown or Raw, you're going to be making doctor or attorney money. You know what I mean? And the other thing about that is you have the chance to double, triple, quadruple your fucking money if you can take that ball and run with it once you get there and play politics.
Right.
So that's life. That's life, you know? And it's not for everybody, you know? The problem is WWE has to figure out, because everybody says the same shit. Everybody has that look. Everybody's got this heart they speak of. How can they tell, looking into that log jam, which motherfucker or motherfuckers actually has it? You know? It's up to you to stick out, prove it, become undeniable. You know? And that's how we train. Hello?
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, how you stick out. That's the $1 million question that nobody has the correct answer to.
That's not true. How can you become undeniable?
Go ahead, Justin. I'm out of it.
Well,
Let's talk about this. Angel fucking Garza. He is he's the best thing since sliced bread up there currently, right?
In my opinion, yeah.
How,
Yeah.
Well, obviously their opinion because they're doing something with that motherfucker. Right or wrong? How long has he been on TV?
is that
Half
including or
a
not
year?
including NXT?
NXT.
Oh,
Probably about 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable kid. So he's been, I didn't know he was there for 1.5 years before they put him on the roster.
He was there 1.5 years before they
Well,
put
if
him
you
on?
guys are saying 2 years from NXT and he's been on Raw for 6 months or whatever.
Yeah, he was on NXT for probably a good year. Maybe. No, you know what? I don't even think they put him on NXT for a year.
Okay.
I'd say.
He made the rounds on 205 Live.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're talking about a guy who broke in at probably 14 years old.
No.
When did he break in?
3 years before I did.
No.
I talked to him.
Oh, okay.
He's the one who told me.
Okay. And where did he break in?
Mexico.
Who did he break in with?
His uncle.
Uncle who?
The fucking
Hector Garza.
Hector Garza?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's great. Hector Garza was a great fucking performer. Very underrated performer in the United States.
Have you seen that moonsault Angel Garza does? It's spitting image of Hector.
Wow. Yeah, Hector was a great fucking worker. And the reason I know Hector is when Ray got his first real contract with WCW, I was there doing extra work and I was trying to set up to get my developmental deal.
Actually, Mario Segura, his grandfather.
Who's that? What's the name?
That's Mario Segura was
The working name.
El Hijo del Gladiator.
Oh, I remember that guy. You guys won. Point I'm trying to make is that this guy paid a lot of fucking dues working in Mexico, and that's how he got so fucking good. You know, if Hector broke him in, such a great fucking worker, and taught him all of his good habits and none of his bad,
I'll put
that
it this
explains
way:
a lot.
he got signed in April 2019 with World Wrestling Entertainment. So he's just been there a year.
Well, how are you going to become that good? What did Angel have out of the thousands of luchadors? And there are literally thousands of luchadors, hundreds of luchadors with CMLL and AAA and whoever the large companies are in Mexico. Why did that motherfucker stand out of all of them?
Besides a buttload of charisma.
That's what I'm saying. He got to work with Hector. He probably got to work with other guys at Hector's level on the house shows, on the spot towns in Mexico, and that's how you learn. You know?
Generational royalty too. I mean, he was in AAA too. He was part of the Mexican independent circuit. I mean, he worked at Impact. That's probably not a good knock, but whatever.
No, that's him trying to get work, you know.
Yeah. But mostly, just those three things. I mean, he works with Silver King.
Jesus Christ.
You know, I mean, he's
another great worker. Underrated.
Yeah, he's got a lot of people that he's been able to work with that were able to make him better.
Well, he's paid his dues.
Oh, definitely. I'm not saying
he worked for nothing for years, tried to find a way to fucking do it, you know. But look at how good he became, you know. How did he become that good? You know what I mean? And that's what you got to do. You got to stick out.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's probably 200 luchadors they could have fucking picked from, and he stood out. You know, he stood out. And I bet you when he was working TNA in Mexico, he was doing all that fucking death-defying bullshit. He ain't doing that now. A couple, three things, and he's learned where to put him in the fucking match.
Yeah.
You know, that is a technical fucking stand-up. A good-ass storyteller. You know? So hang in there. Don't think about that. Take this shit one day at a time. What can I do today that's a little bit more than I did yesterday? You know? I've never asked you guys to do anything I haven't done, and I've done it all. It doesn't leave a lot, what's the fucking term I'm looking for? I've done a lot of shit. You know? Crazy shit, stupid shit,
The
smart
man's
shit,
well traveled. Put it that way.
you know? But the one thing I still have to this fucking day, 55 fucking years old, is the opportunity to get to the second or third guy from the top in World Wrestling Entertainment and get a fucking answer by day's end. Because of my reputation. I haven't been in the ring in how many years? You know what I mean? I've been.
Are we technically speaking? Because it would be about 4 or 5.
Last match, ironically, was against Mac Vine.
Those motherfuckers know me from shit that I did 20, 25 years ago. You know, the things I did and the way I carried myself 20, 25 years ago warrants that shit. You know what I mean? Hard-working motherfucker. I've had Vince come up to me when I was a young guy 2 or 3 times and say, I just came over to tell you I realize and appreciate what you do for this company. You know what I mean? And that carries with me today, you know?
Yeah. Oh.
I mean, you saw it. I like when you guys go to whatever you go to and go to see Punk or Foley or some asshole that's a friend of mine, and they pop, they light up, you know?
Yeah, Victor and Usher went to see Punk, right? He saw Punk or something like that?
Yeah, more than that. Even that, the one guy that who shall remain nameless because I don't want to bear anybody, but the guy that didn't wash his fucking clothes or fucking gear.
Oh, yeah.
Like a punk. Like I was lying about my relationship with Punk. When he broke in, went, and, you know, what the motherfucker say?
Well, that was funny because he had to come back all humbled about it, saying, like, yeah, you told me to do what you said.
Yeah.
Remember? He said, yeah, just to listen to you.
And
He couldn't even do that for more than a week.
So what? A year ago, less than a year ago, you went up to do something.
I know. In November, 2019 November, I went out there for the Survivor Series pay-per-view.
And what the fuck happened? Who did you see? What they say? That kind of shit.
Oh, well, that's where ironically I talked to Angel Garza for half an hour, and like in front of everybody in catering, and I was just talking about like wrestling there. But when I got in front of the bigwigs, like I made sure I did a couple of things right, and if they're gonna be listening, please don't be mad at me. But I figured
It's
out.
not about that. Dude.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, but. When I saw Laurinaitis walking by, he walked by in front of Regal, and he crossed by, and ironically, where we were positioned for my extra gig in the backstage portion of what was going on for the pay-per-view, for all their sponsors and whatnot, i.e. Grubhub, which was, their,
Okay,
their
motherfucker,
sponsor.
get to the meat.
Good for you.
You can get over with that shit. Vince gonna go, sorry, time's up.
Shut up, Dick. I'm
I
trying
got
to
a
play it out. He walked past it.
I got a shit. That's
Okay,
what
good
you're
shit.
gonna say.
All right. Where was I going? Because I was rudely
You're
interrupted.
fucking talking about pimping Grubhub. You're supposed to be pimping Rand, which pimps BPW. You got laryngitis, and fucking Regal was there. What happened?
It was in front of Regal. So I walked in front of Laurinaitis and stopped him in his tracks. And I told him, hey, Randy Ritchie, I don't know if you remember Randy Ritchie or not. And he goes, oh, yeah. And I go, oh, well, he told me if I saw you here that I should stop you and say hello and, introduce myself. I'm Matt. And he goes, oh, nice to meet you. Is Randy doing good? I'm like, yeah, he's doing great. He goes, you got to tell him he should call me. I've been trying to call him. I was something like, I was trying to call him for a while, but he's got to call me. And it was in front of Regal. And Regal had 3 guys from like NXT in front of him or something like that.
He stops what he's doing.
He didn't stop what he was doing, but I walked by. I wanted to try and shake his hand, but he saw that what was going on, and then he steps between 2 of the 3 guys to extend his hand and shake my hand to me.
And what else?
Who
else?
You saw Ziggler, didn't you?
I saw Ziggler, but that wasn't a Randy ordeal.
Oh, that's right. That was
That's because of Casey. Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean,
And
Casey James.
cite Casey James as a way to carry yourself in the industry, so the door will always be open. You carry yourself like that, motherfucker. What was Ziggler's?
So Casey James was. Let's just put the playing field out there for you. You trained Casey James, right?
Yeah.
Casey James was in OVW, where Ziggler was last.
Got his start. He's one of the
Right,
last
big
guys
start.
to
Yeah.
Take a liking to and work with Ziggler before he left.
Right.
WWE.
Okay. So.
He said that. Watch this guy Ziggler, dude. Fuck, I love the fucking guy, dude. He's fucking great, man.
Yeah.
I
So.
don't know Ziggler, I don't know what that is. Go ahead.
Right. So.
Zig Ziglar, I remember that guy thinking grow rich, shit like that. Go ahead.
So. I go up to Ziggler, who's talking with Bobby Roode backstage, and Bobby's, for some reason, he's very nervous.
Motherfucker, get to the meat.
He's very nervous, and he's staring a hole in me because I'm interrupting their conversation. And I go, hey, Dolph, do you remember a guy named Casey James? And he goes, absolutely, as they were trying to talk business. And he goes, absolutely.
Lit up like a Roman.
Yeah,
Did
exactly.
you see Spanky?
I did not see Spanky there.
Oh, I love Spanky.
But Ziggler goes out there. I'm like, hey, do you remember?
Okay, who else?
You remember Dude? And he goes, oh my God, you sound just like him and whatnot.
All right, go ahead.
The whole time.
Who else?
I couldn't really remember anybody else.
Kingfish.
Oh, that was when I was leaving, though.
Doesn't matter. He's a stiff motherfucker.
Yeah,
stopped
he's
in his tracks.
No, he wasn't stopped. He was on a fucking
No, he
beeline to
stopped
get
in
out.
his tracks when you mentioned my fucking name.
He didn't stop, but he finally warmed up a little bit.
Yeah.
I was walking out of the Allstate, going towards the Uber, and Kingfish is right next to me. Like, how you doing, Lawler? Fine. How the fuck do I get an Uber? He's on his phone, doesn't want to talk to anybody. And I go, hey, Jerry. He goes, how you doing? Hey, I don't know if I should bring this up, but you remember Randy Ritchie at all? And he goes, oh, yeah, I remember Randy. How's he doing? Is he doing okay? Yeah, he's doing okay. Next thing you know, he's got like 3 other guys from the arena coming up, like, hey, where you got to go? He's like, I'm trying to get an Uber out of here. I got to get out of here. And I go, but he goes, you tell Randy I said hello, okay? I'm like, oh, okay.
So
But
that's
everybody
the point
else.
I'm trying to make at the end of the day. I'm not sitting here saying, like, swing from my nuts, whatever. I'm saying that's the kind of juice that's behind Premier Pro Wrestling, you know? And it ain't me being a mark for myself because I'm not fucking bragging about this shit on Facebook. I'm putting this out there for yourself and for the fans to see what the fuck we're about and the fact that we're spawn and what separates us from these other fucking companies that their greatest attribute was getting their fucking head knocked off literally by goddamn JBL when he was at his stiffest. You know what I mean? How long is this thing been going, Justin?
50 minutes and 30 seconds.
Fucking A. So we're getting ready to open back up, not this Saturday the 30th.
Yeah.
Next Saturday,
June the 6th.
June the 6th.
We're opening back up.
At a crowd. Now, I'm going to tell you, I've been thinking about this, and folks, please keep posted, follow us on social media. You know, I don't think I'm going to order the wearing of masks. I don't think I'm going to order that. Because I think a lot of people are starting to get fucking offended by they got to wear masks. You know what I mean? We'll see what happens. I mean, I'm not officially announcing it yet, but it's something to open our minds to. You know what I mean?
It really should be common sense at this point.
That's what I think we can say.
If you feel safer wearing the mask, wear the mask.
That's what I think we should officially say, and maybe we're officially saying this now. Use common fucking sense. It's up to you, the individual. I don't think we should be involved in this ordering of shit. Maybe we'll fucking keep doing that social distancing and suggest put some shit up like that, but I don't think we can actually even be held liable for that kind of shit. You know what I mean? So,
Nope, nobody's going to hold a gun to anybody's head and force them in the door.
Or wear a mask or not wear a mask. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's how we should play this thing and just go back there and do some solid fucking business. Please, please, please keep supporting us on Patreon.
And I know when we announced it on Facebook, I mean, we got a lot of positive response. So people are jonesing for what we offer at our live tapings.
Yeah, the one thing that we've done with this, and talent-wise and myself, not having a fucking crowd. I honestly think if you watch our crowdless shit with the way Justin and I have been commentating it and shutting off that camera mic so you only pick up what comes through on the announcer's mic, the fact that we keep that energy going throughout a match is more compelling than AEW or Vince's.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, you know. The other thing that's done is this challenged young talent and even Vine, who's you're still young talent but more seasoned, to fucking work in a whole different way and hit them where they ain't. And it's also forced me to come up with some fucking compelling ass bullshit concepts to stay compelling.
They're not bullshit.
No.
Don't call them bullshit. They're not.
We're going to start implementing in front of a fucking crowd. Fuck you.
Those 7 and 7s and Olympiad matches, holy shit, when those go live.
Unbelievable. The world is
Yeah.
our motherfucking oyster.
Yeah, buddy.
You know? The world is our oyster, and you draw us a fucking roadmap. I'm just smart enough to listen to you, you know what I mean, and watch, you know?
Yeah, and they're not overdone derived concepts either.
Not at all. I
There's-
can't believe how we incept this shit and then fucking execute.
Well, there's a reason behind it all, too.
Yeah.
It's exactly one reason I think we stand out among other quote-unquote indie companies.
Yeah.
And again, we're not an indie company, independent professional wrestling.
Yes.
But it's like, you can watch and see somebody do a move and say, oh, that's really cool, but the question behind it is why?
Yeah.
Why?
Exactly. How did we get there? What do we do coming out of it?
You-
Why are you doing it?
You could do a Phoenix Splash and touch the ceiling, but why did you do it?
Yeah. You know, I'll never forget that time. There was a promoter that asked me to bring crew guys down, and I brought somebody down, and that person was fucking doing moonsaults, no problem. Shooting stars, no problem. Shooting stars from the ring post to the outside, no problem. And I said, what'd you think of that guy? He said, what guy? Nobody stood out. The guy that did that motherfucking shooting star from the inside out. I have 100 fucking tapes at home with guys that can do that shit. Show me something special. I said, God damn, the business hasn't changed that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's Patreon, Facebook, YouTube, Pivot Share, Pro Wrestling Tees. With a few fucking dollars, we are going to be able to be a viable wrestling alternative.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the more we can earn off these platforms, I mean, the more we can the more we can bring to you all as a reward for contributing and for helping to support us.
You are our end goal. You are the most important fucking thing when it comes right down to it. The fucking fan. And we're going to try to treat you like that. But I ain't going to be kissing all asses and listening to insults and all that stuff. I'm not playing that shit. All my relationships, be it personal, family, professional, I meet you. My only promise is I will meet you halfway. You know? And usually I end up meeting you more than halfway. But the point is that, I'm not going to open myself up to that bullshit.
No.
Disgruntled fans and fans that aren't really fans just want to fucking troll and all that shit. I'm not playing that kind of butt game. But, treat me with the same respect that I'll treat you with. You know what I mean? Here's an example. I gotta go soon. This is another reason we gotta close this shit. Because right before you guys came, I had to switch my motherfucking laundry. I'm fucking broke, so we need to be fucking patronized. I gotta go to the fucking laundromat, which I hate the fucking laundromat. Oh my god, I'd rather fucking paint the inside of this fucking room in a day than go to the fucking laundromat. I hate the fucking
Dude, I did a
laundromat.
load today, and with it being Memorial Day and everything, with so many people doing their wash and all those dryers going, you couldn't believe how stinking hot it was in that place.
Well, here I am talking to my, right before, as I'm trying to get over there, I'm talking to my landlord, and this motherfucker is a wealthy guy from Lake Barrington. That's a fucking look at shit. That's a rich
Lake Barrington.
And then I go to the laundromat. I'm speaking to, a guy from Mexico, the same fucking way about the same fucking topics. You know what I'm saying? That's me. So that's all I'm saying is, I just want to be treated, us to be treated the same way because we've earned it. Even Vine,
Yeah, even Vine.
Even Justin, All right, let's close this fucking thing.
Well, remember, folks, best way you can help us is by supporting us on Patreon. Get us on subscription to PivotShare. We're on PivotShare, the most consistent content of any company on PivotShare.
Really?
We're doing. I'm pretty sure we're doing more stuff than anybody else because we're putting up 3-4 compelling matches every single week.
When we say 3 or 4 matches, it's not the fucking today's standard of match you're fucking looking for. You're getting this week Jose Acosta versus. PivotShare. This week it's a 7-7 Jose and Tim Castle. 49 fucking minute match. See what I'm saying? Or 40 something minutes of wrestling. Altogether, you're going to get 90 minutes to 2 hours of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
When he says that 3 or 4 minutes, that's what you guys are accustomed to today. Nobody can fucking go in that ring and be compelling for more than 8 minutes, and your guys that are considered great do 12. You know what I mean? So we're meeting you halfway. I mean, we're giving you value. I promise. Just give it a fucking try.
Mm-hmm. And just watch these guys work too, because this isn't 7 matches over 7 weeks.
Nope.
It's not 7 matches over the course of a night with breaks in between. It's 7 matches in a row by the end. I mean, both of these guys, you could hear them. You could just hear them panting like dogs by the end, just worn out. But they went the whole way, and it was exciting to watch. It was exciting to call.
It was exciting to fucking call, even for me. And I'm burned out when it comes to watching wrestling. I love to watch that shit come to fruition. Actually, work with you guys. I get an idea, we put our heads together, and boom, it's fucking magic. I promise you. I swear to God, it's fucking magic.
And then on Patreon, we've got Matt Vine's first title defense, the Challenge Pro Championship, since his unfortunate accident a number of weeks ago.
Yeah.
He puts that cup on the line against Not Bad Chad and Pancho.
Which is fucking great.
Didn't feel so great.
Come on.
To his credit, he's still recovering from near fatal car crash. But he got back in the ring in a triple threat match. So
fuck you, man. Those guys hit hard.
All right, so Rand's telling us to wrap it up. He's got to go get his undies out of the dryer. So
my fucking betting.
remember to support us all over online. Remember, we're opening up doors again Saturday night, June the 6th. Use common sense. If you want to wear a mask, wear a mask. If you want to drag your chair over to be 6 feet away from everybody, drag your chair away to be 6 feet away from everybody. Just use common sense. But we're looking forward to seeing you guys again. I mean, almost 3 months is just way too damn long. And we're going to wrap this up. Take it home and join us next week for another episode of the Premier Planet Podcast.
Bye, Felicia's.
I've always wanted to end it like that.